Okay. I am a little nervous.
We haven't started yet, and this is already my favorite podcast.
The pre-talk, I think, was the whole podcast.
Yeah. Dude, you should have recorded the free time.
Hey, this one's special for me. This guy right here, who had a bigger white beard, now it's a little bit more trim because he's got a trimmer. This is Mo Garcia, a.k.a. El Padrino. This is the guy I grew up with in Miami, the real Mr. Miami, the one original of all the promoter, all the parties. And it took me a while to get him. Now he's in Bimini, but thank you for coming, Padrino.
Happy to be
I
here.
wanted to introduce him like that because homie really is like family, and I call him the Padrino because I don't think I've ever paid anything.
So for me, this is extra special.
Yes,
because I've heard stories.
Yes,
of
this
his
is
group,
him,
especially from Angel and everything. And I unfortunately lived towards maybe the tail end of what you guys are doing. I'm 10 years younger.
You were there, yeah.
I was there.
How old are you?
I'm 37. So I was a little bit towards the end. But there's some interesting stories here, man. And this is, it's a local legend.
This is a good one. That's why I'm nervous. Sir, introduce yourself to the camera right there and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Marco Antonio Garcia.
Also known as?
Mo.
Also known as the Hand of God?
No, never.
So can we ask, how did you get that name? Because that's a good name.
That was the Vegas thing.
That's a good name, bro.
What's the name?
The Hand of God?
Who gave me that name?
No, that's what I was told.
Isn't that when you were running over there at the Vegas show? Working for
Vegas is a great story.
How do you go from Miami to Vegas? Like, I feel like Vegas is such a complicated market. And like Miami, you really understand.
Yeah.
How'd you make that jump over there? Right off the bat. That's something that I saw from afar, too.
Before we get into that, we got to start from the bottom.
Okay, go for it.
He's going to start micromanaging you. Right?
No, because I want to know.
You want to get to Vegas.
Right, and I've constantly
been
telling...
A lot happened.
Before? All right, let's start with that. I agree. Let's start with that.
A little feedback. It's taken me over a year to get him to sit here with us. He did other podcasts.
And I'll be honest with you, because when he was asking me, you guys had just started.
Yeah, we just started.
Right?
And it was the right time.
And I wasn't all up on the podcast.
Yeah.
I really didn't understand it. But I'll be honest with you, watching you guys, like how you guys each have gotten better at doing it. Because it's a tricky thing on your side of it. It's almost easier just to answer questions and, kind of build on it. But watching you guys grow...
No, you got to keep it intriguing, bro, and you got to have your politics, your restaurants, your.
I'll tell you the thing is, you really, for whatever lack of a better term, you really gotta love this because it takes a lot of resources, time, etc. And you want to kind of be a crafty master. I love seeing other people's podcasts, and I think we've done a good job at promoting other people to do it themselves.
Right? No, and also I'm sure you've learned well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
We
shouldn't have said that.
That wasn't.
We've had episodes canceled.
We got banned from Flanagan's for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For a chicken wing conversation.
For the microwave.
Brother, microwaving. People have gotten sued.
I'm a fan. I watch you guys.
Yeah.
So I do
Our episodes have been used in court cases. Verified. My boys, people have come up to me and said, listen, you had a guest on that we were investigating and we used the clip from there to use it against him. We've got a cease and desist.
Hey, it's taking me...
Can I tell you something? The cease and desist is... You're doing something.
Yep. We've got a cease and desist.
If you're not getting the cease and desist...
We've got a handful of them already.
Listen, I've always said, no, because we'll get a letter. Dude, if we get a letter, then we're fucking...
That's good.
We're doing it.
We had a lady pull a card saying that according to FCC law, we should be giving equal time opportunity to all politicians, not just the ones we have come on. Like, esto llegado hasta ahí.
No,
you gotta jump.
I have my taste in politics because my older brother was a congressman.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. Big time,
Democrat.
He's still congressman.
He's not. He did one term. But listen, at the end of the day, he got to the show.
Yeah, man.
He got to DC. Man. He got in as a Cuban Democrat, which is an oxymoron
that's crazy.
in and itself. In and of itself, right? Yeah. So, but he did it, bro. To being a son of an immigrant and making it to DC. It's a really pretty story that seeing the sides of my grandfather. Cry. Crying in happiness when my brother graduated from law school, from UM Law School, and then cried again when he told my grandfather that he was going to be in politics.
Wow.
For a Cuban, that's the lowest of the low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
he wasn't happy.
It was impossible too.
It was
not fathomable.
He cried,
and his younger brother's a teacher.
And my younger brother's a teacher,
who my sons play baseball with. They used to, and now they go to Columbus together.
Listen, and if we're going to start anywhere, We start there. We start that I will always be untouchable because of the fact of the upbringing that my mother and father gave me. It was a fairy tale upbringing. My house in Westchester was the centerpiece of all my friends and family. Every Christmas, every Thanksgiving, my grandmother always cooking every Saturday and Sunday. My door was always infamous. My house of my parents was always known for being infamously unlocked.
Still like that.
People would come throughout.
I've seen your videos with your parents.
Not in Westchester anymore. So people would circulate there because they always knew Saturday and Sunday. My grandmother was cooking up a storm. She would tie up her Sedano bags, one around the neck and then one around that was her Sedano bag apron.
Damn.
And my grandfather would sit out on the porch, just monitor everything. And mounds una bola entera de
con gris,
already perfectly, like that's the kind of stuff that, because I'm a fan of you guys, and you start talking about top 3 and you start talking about Cuban restaurants, and it's hard to talk about Cuban restaurants when you grew up in a Cuban family uphold, because it's never the same. It's never comes close. How can you get a bistec empanizado that doesn't bubble up on you inside of a?
I know your mom throws down. I know that they eat very well. The parents, like he said, his parents are amazing. The structure, the love that they have, and you see him pick him up and stuff and take him.
Well, no, they are. If out of my little following, they're the stars.
Yeah.
My engagement with my parents, because listen, they people relate.
Yeah.
And I got to do something very special with them once. I took them to Cuba for the first time since they left when they were 18.
Wow. What year was that?
I'm the worst. The timeline's got to be like 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago.
So before COVID.
Before COVID, for sure.
I went in 2018.
Now, they were always very scared to go for a couple of reasons. One, what they went through, the trauma of what they went through. They left when they were 18. They left in the late 50s when Fidel said, listen, you want to get out of here, go. Leave everything here, get on a plane and go. So that's what they went through. My dad came first and then made some money and got my mom to come over. But I put it all on my social media, the whole Cuba trip. It was like a documentary, but I didn't realize what I was doing at the time. But when we first landed, we went to the house that my father was raised in. I was born and raised in. And there was another family there.
In Havana?
In Havana and Cotorro. Just right there, right in the midst of it. There was another family staying there. It was me, my older brother, my niece, and my dad asked the people, is it okay? This is my house. I want to show my family. So as we go in, he's showing us around. The house is all beat up. And some old man comes outside, starts talking to the people that live there and say, who's in there? Oh, they know the family that used to live here. So we walk out. And I start filming for some random thing. This old man starts talking to my dad about the family that used to live there. This is my dad. And my dad's watching him. And I have this on video because this would be good if you could clip.
Yeah, of course, bro.
Send us the video.
No, we'll find it. It's on social. We'll find it.
So the old man starts telling, he says, oh, Olalia, which is my grandmother's name. And my dad's looking at him. My mom's saying next to him. He goes, tú no eres Flaco León, no? Flaco Felo. And my mom, he looks at my mom goes, Flaco, Carmen y Pepe.
No way.
It was my dad's best friend, next door neighbor.
No way.
Last time they saw each other, they were 18 years old. Now they're seeing each other 57 years later. They're two old men talking to each other.
Jesus Christ.
So get look, full of goosebumps, right? Full of goosebumps. And to understand that his best friend that lived there and saw that, and then my mom starts crying and everything else, and then it fucking hits me like, oh my God, that was the first thing of the trip. The rest of the trip was that. And to see my old man and getting drunk in fucking Havana, in La Floridita, drinking, and he was drunk, and he has this Cuban girl dancing next to me.
Things you've never seen of your old man, right?
Bro, and then he starts telling us stories that we've never heard. And he tells it. Sorry, I'm going too much into this.
No, go for it, bro. I went to Cuba, man.
Let me tell you something. He told me this one story that hit the hardest. It's a very simple story. That him and his mom, his father, he had just buried his father. His father was in the military, so knew Fidel, and he was in the military as a veterinarian. And his old man was infamously always drinking, but never drunk, which I think that's where I got my hereditary drinking strides from. Right, so he went to deathbed of his father says, "You guys got to get out of here. I know this guy. You guys got to get out of here." So buried his father. Him and my grandmother went. They stayed in the, I think, at Hotel Nacional. Damn. I think, and I think that's where the casino was. I don't know if I have the story right, but he was gambling, he was winning, and my grandmother's like, "What are you doing? You can't take any money with us. You can't win." So the next day they get on the plane, they land in Miami. He says it was already getting dark, and they had this efficiency that they were going to stay in. And he says, "Never remember." This is the first time he's telling me this in Cuba, and there was 2 beds. His mom sat on one, and he sat on the other. And he looked at his mom and says, "Y ahora qué?" And she goes, "No sé."
Yeah, like, what are you going to do? You're here.
He's 18. He's asking his mom, like, "Okay, you got us here. Now what?" I don't know. You know what I mean? And if you think about it, that's just one little story.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And there's so few movies about that.
Yeah.
About that.
How they're shooting that movie that we did the other day. Remember the Amparo production?
I went and I got the book. I listened to the book. I don't like to read. You got about Peter Pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, I'm a fan of you guys. But is that the book you're talking about?
Yes, they're making a movie.
The book sucks.
Oh yeah, they're making a movie out of it.
Yeah.
I understand, but the book just doesn't take you anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
The book doesn't take you anywhere. I
think that's probably the guy did the movie. That's probably why.
Right. The book is
play
just
was
too
amazing,
much.
though,
Maybe. Right. No. But I don't doubt it. I'm just saying the book. And I'm listening
But you know what's
to the
crazy?
book. So,
that clip in particular blew up too, man. Like 6,000 shares.
That's
why?
That's probably why they're going to do the movie.
Because people relate. Because you know what the truth is? Because that Peter Pan story is something else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's our story. It's our story.
Send your kid away. No, send your kid away.
My dad was out to Spain.
And that was and I didn't know that they called choripan the ones that went to Spain too. That was fucking interesting, bro.
And there was some horror stories in there. There was kids that got abused.
Yeah. Oh, the play was amazing.
I have to see the play because the
play
book
was amazing.
The book doesn't do it justice.
We had the state attorney on, and she talks a lot about how, I mean, not to like veer off somebody, but she said there's a lot of like the whole kids, what's it called, human trafficking, major in Miami, major. And I was like, I would never have seen that.
The worst thing to do.
She goes, "Listen, when there's major events here, it's all over the place, and they have like these situations where they have like people tracked and shit like that, bro."
I'd rather lose a son or daughter than have them trafficked, because at least when they die, you know they're dead.
They're dead. No, but let me tell you something also, right? Because we're bringing up something about that I try to explain to people that are not from here. The upbringing, at least in my age, the upbringing in Miami was very special because it was a bubble. Mm-hmm. All my friends were in the same boat as me, no pun intended. You know, we're in the same boat. Yeah. So, and if you went to any of the 4 major private schools, you were 1 degree separation of not getting in any real trouble. You know, went to Columbus. I got thrown out of Belen, but my brother went to Belen. You know, Lourdes, Carrollton. If you were Cuban, from there, like I got in trouble once. You know, hopefully my parents don't ask me about this once, but I got in trouble once, and I got out of trouble because 2 of my friends that were real estate attorneys, one knew the judge, one knew the prosecuting attorney.
Hey, leave me alone.
It was good. And I was good.
That's a good story, bro.
But that's what growing up in the bubble of Miami was. There was a special time. I grew up in the 80s. There was a lot going on in the 80s, but I didn't see horrific
But how old are you? You don't look that old. Oh, you're 54. Yeah, you're Manny's age.
Yeah. He just keeps talking about the 80s and
they grew up in. I think they grew up in the best time in Miami.
The best time.
It was. I'm telling you, it was a magical time.
Magical time.
And that's why I have this love story with this city, because I'm born and raised here, and I got to grow with it. You know.
How have you seen the city? I mean, obviously there's obvious changes, but what do you think about how the city has evolved like rapidly the last 10 years? You know.
Incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. It's like if you'd see it in a movie, you wouldn't believe it. And the chaos surrounded by it, right? Because think about before the Cubans got here. This place was a fucking swamp.
It was a swamp, yeah.
It was swamps and mangroves. And to now.
I want to talk about the.
It's crazy how every time there's a problem in South America, any government, this place just blows up, man.
And forget what the city is, but if you really take a step back, it's the most marketable city on the planet.
Yeah.
On the planet, every corporation needs a piece of Miami. They're all here. They all got their eyes on it. So whatever bubble people talking about,
not gonna happen.
Forget about Miami. South Florida isn't going anywhere. The politics, the weather, the
people, man. Yeah, they're fucking amazing. You know.
I wanted to talk about the old school days. With the
SMAC Entertainment.
We
SMAC.
saw Angel's podcast.
Yeah, you know what SMAC stands for? Did Angel tell you?
I think he did, but you're to refresh it. Oh, yes, you're right. You're right.
Mo, Angel, Conrad, and then on our business card we had a hand like SMAC.
That's badass. Who thought about that? Or was it a group thing?
I think it might have been Bill Spector.
It's got to be the Jew.
Bill. Did you? Bill Spector too.
I love Bill.
Have you guys read the Mark Ronson book?
No.
So I don't read. So I can read, but I don't like to read books. But I like to listen to audiobooks. And Mark Ronson has the audiobook on Night People.
Check that out.
You got to check it out and listen to it because it's him narrating, which is always a beautiful thing when the person is reading their own story, right? So, but it's a great story of New York, and you know, Mark Ronson. I don't have to tell you who he is. Mark Ronson, between a producer and a DJ and everything else, and you know, he got to spin for us. I got to hang out with Mark, but he would talk about Bill Spector. He immortalized him in his book because he would talk about Bill Spector. Like he was the guy in New York. Like people know Bill Spector from here, but man, Bill Spector goes back, and he was a pioneer for the promotion industry, and especially in hip hop. You know.
With the little Jew fro,
a little neurotic Jewish guy
who
was owning the hip hop market for a while.
How did you guys connect? It was you and Angel that connected with him.
We connected because, like you and me both. Maybe I started before you, but going out, he was always throwing the coolest hip hop parties. Oh man, I should have turned this off. Cedric Gervais. Should we get Cedric Gervais?
Answer it, Cedric Gervais.
It up, bro. That's dope as fuck.
Cedric Gervais, you're on live on the podcast.
What's up?
It's Kiko. What's up, buddy?
Damn, that's fucking rowdy.
I can't reveal the list. I'm sorry, the list.
Yeah, Cedric posted on his Instagram that he got a list of girls that were for sale on Instagram, on each and every one of them, on million plus followers.
Great list.
And in that list, he won't release the list. He won't say where he got the list.
Wow, it's not like the Epstein list, no?
Yeah, not that.
My story is up to 50,000 views.
No fucking way, bro.
Cedric, you got to come on the podcast. We'd love to have you here, man. And we're in Coral Gables.
I'll tell you how it goes, Cedric. I'll tell you how it goes. But Cedric is up. He's up for his second Grammy nomination with David Guetta that he did a song because he is a Grammy Award.
No, I know. I want to go to his house and ask
him. But what I want to know is what you guys were going to talk about right now. Like what he call you. That's more interesting.
Listen, Mo, I remember.
What were we just talking about?
We were talking about you in the
Bill Spector. Yeah. How we got to Bill Spector. So how I got to know Bill going out in the mid 90s, you know, cross paths. Matt, I can't remember who introduced us or anything else, but you know, going to his parties and everything else, they had that locals, Miami Beach. They had a little New York flair, and they had the models. And they knew how to get the
crowds,
DJs, the crowds of the models and stuff like that. And, you know, back in the 90s.
You could be discreet of who's coming in or not. You don't have the look, you're not getting in.
That model scene was everything because, you know, just like, you know, like cities do, right? All the models would come to shoot. All the modeling agencies would come to shoot in Miami, in South Beach, because it was cheap. And then the city decided, we're not charging enough. So they outpriced all the shoots.
Damn.
And all the model agencies left.
But we have Playboy coming back now, no? You think that does anything or doesn't really do much, right?
Yeah.
You know what? Listen, nowadays you don't know. Sometimes, you know, there's that.
It's changed from models to like OnlyFans girls now, you know, or to Instagram.
Bro, my brother's building in Flatiron is full of OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Paying $8,000.
But I'm not sure if that OnlyFans situation, I mean, it's probably good for them. I don't know if it's good for society, dog. Like, I think 30 years down the line, when, you know, we've been doing this for a long time, you know what it is that, like, your son with internet and everything to say, my mom was an OnlyFans girl. Yeah,
no, I think
full of content from 30 years ago.
Listen,
absolutely.
We were just talking about the list. Cedric Gervais talking about a list, right? And the world has shifted, right? And especially for women, right? It's shifted, right?
Yeah.
Because OnlyFans has had a direct effect on strip bars.
On people's
lives. Has had a direct effect on hospitality, servers, and everything else. And some girls that just show their feet can make millions, right?
True, bro.
But there's still a stigma, and I've experienced amongst friends and everything else that just the fact that a woman was on OnlyFans at one time, there's a stigma attached to it. Yeah. You don't have to be doing pornography. Yeah. You don't have to be doing something discreet. You could be in a bathing suit, which most girls on Instagram are in bathing suits. But if you're on OnlyFans, it becomes a stigma. Now, what's on the other side of it, right? They're paying their bills. What's worse? Being on OnlyFans for a woman to make her own money, or what we're dealing with society and women now, that women are making sure that men pay for something of theirs. Yeah. And when I was going on a date, going out with a girl, it wasn't already understood that I had to pay for their car note or their apartment. It was
Dog, you're at another level, bro, because I pay for dinner, but it stops there. I mean, I'm married.
No. But what I'm trying to tell you is that nowadays,
no way.
Women are Were you married?
I'm married, yeah.
That's why you
I've been on a date for like 7 years.
That's why a good answer. You stay married.
Dog,
You're not married.
I'm not married.
Wait. But go back to that. When I was going out with chicks, I was expected to hang out. I was expected to take them on vacations. Right. Women are expecting for you to pay their vehicles and apartments now?
It's, you know what?
Like, do you see that out there?
Let's not stereotype. Let's not generalize. I'm not saying all women.
I've seen you with the baddest women on earth, models, because you have a type. I've seen your social media. You even have people create fake accounts of you. What's up with that?
I think the fake.
Why is it like once a month?
I think the.
You ever seen him? Garcia, and it's his picture.
People use my face
as a gigolo.
I seen it.
People use my face. I think I have that sugar daddy aura. You know, maybe the white beard
with the glasses. Yeah, of course, bro. With a clean look.
So, you know what's sad is that I've had people call me and say, or DM me and say, like, you know what? I gave this person money.
No way.
I thought it was you.
And you've had crazy like offers. From like,
people ask me, can you give me $1 million?
Yeah,
and I'm like, man, if I could give you $1 million, I'd be doing much better than
I would.
Listen, before we get to the good stuff, when it comes to your current situation, I still want to talk about the old school stuff. I used to work for you as a promoter. I did, I think, 5 years, you and Angel and stuff like that.
No way.
Yeah. They used to pay me to sell bottles and shit.
He was very aggressive.
Was he good?
He was very aggressive.
You know what?
Listen to me right now. I was very fun.
He's very good.
But there were certain nights.
But there was some lines that he would, when he would cross a line.
Yeah, I did.
This guy, has an energy about him. You know what I mean?
And he would tell me, calm the fuck down. You're out of control.
Listen, when you're talking to this fucking refrigerator, and he would be looking at me, sweating at me like, hey, what are you talking about? I'm like, you got to calm down. What do you mean? I'm calm. I'm like,
hey, listen, let's keep it PG. No, but I would listen to you. I would tone it down.
You know what? He has that edge to him, but he's always been professional.
Bro, he's always taking care. Hey, listen, there would be nights that I wouldn't sell a fucking bottle because whatever. Some of the other places would open up.
He might have been too lit.
No, and
you're here to work,
and I'd be like, Omo, can I get my money out? He's so sick. You didn't sell a goddamn bottle. Yeah, but the party was turned the fuck up.
Because that party was
Angel too. Yeah, I'm like, can I get my check anyways? And
bro, you're doing the entertainment, bro.
In the late 90s for $100, bro.
Yeah.
So, anyways, before we move on, what was the like one of your favorite old school parties? I know you were the pioneer of a lot of them. If you could just give me the top 3 that were the most popular back in the day, because this is when the beach was good, right? When you would actually
it was different.
Get out there at midnight.
And not only that, promoting was different,
flyers.
I hated passing out flyers.
You didn't do that. There was a little while.
No,
that was the beginning.
Bill would make me do it. We were, walking Lincoln Road, walking
course.
Ocean Drive. Those streets were different back then.
Right. Yep.
People were out there. But man, for me to hand a flyer and somebody not grab it, it was just, I wanted to go home.
Disheartening.
I don't want to leave my house again. But Bill was very good, and Bill would make us visit the hotels and make us do this. Like Bill was our captain. So we learned a lot. We learned a lot from Bill.
How has marketing evolved from back then till now? No.
Well, listen, and it's back to answer your question with that question is, it was us calling our friends. At the beginning it was that, it was like, hey, come, bro, I'm throwing a party. I want to see you. I got to get a taste of it when I was young. When my parents left the house, they would go on vacation. I would throw some fucking parties.
No.
Like I had it in me. My house in Westchester.
Listen, man, I threw parties good too, but I could never compare to anything you did.
No. But my house parties were good, and I didn't know I had it, and would never think. I remember I got into the business because of Angel.
Yeah,
Angel Febres. I walked into a club. I want to say it was Crowbar. It's very Inception.
You mean Cameo back then?
And it was Crowbar.
Crowbar, Cameo, and then back, right?
No, it was Crowbar, the new owners and everything else, but it just opened. It was years back. Mm-hmm. We were in the scene a lot, but we weren't really working. We had done a New Year's party, and it was for fun. But I was in that space with him, and he goes to me, have you noticed we know everybody in here? We should do this. Yeah. At the time, I had kind of lost my way. I didn't know what I was doing. I think mobile dentistry. I had to. This has to be like early 20s? Worst at timelines. Yeah, mid to early 20s. And I said, yeah, it sounds like probably get laid. You know what I mean? It sounds fun.
Yeah.
That was your North Star.
And then we started at Liquid. Chris,
best club of all time. By
the way. Chris Pacello is instrumental in bringing that New York form of nightlife to Miami Beach. There was parties.
He had that aura too, like
Chris was
like you were gonna get whacked if you fucked with him.
He was that gangster persona, you know. But he was good looking,
right,
and strong. He, you want to be his friend, or he beat the shit out of you at the same time. But he was it. He was it at the time. Yeah. If it wasn't Jennifer Lopez, Sofia Vergara, Kate Moss,
they were
Naomi Campbell, bro. He was it. And let me tell you something. I'll never forget this. I've never even told Chris this, but I was in Liquid early on, and I was just in there, wasn't anywhere in the business. I'll never forget, he was in the DJ booth, and there was this thing that came over me, and I'm saying like, fuck man, to be that guy. And he was just in the DJ booth. He wasn't doing anything that I was like, you think back at certain things in your life and not knowing where it's going to take you. And
I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's funny you say that because we'll get into that. At Live, you always had that aura shot of you standing on top of a speaker.
Yeah.
Looking, glancing, and that's been you
looking over the kingdom, right?
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that was
so what it is to market yourself was. It doesn't get any more guerrilla marketing than what we were doing back then. Because even sending an email, which emails existed, but you got to get home. AOL dial up to see an email come with
to find the address.
Yeah, and MapQuest.
Bro, there was MapQuest at that time.
You have a paper where you to find
the GPS. That'd be GPS.
So between us starting Liquid, we started inviting our friends. And it was cool. I mean, DJ Khaled, I think, might have been our first DJ.
He was in the
hip-hop. No way, dog.
And he would come in at 1.
No. When I was doing...
He was known as DJ Khaled back then, not Khaled.
But what I'm talking about, my story, when me and Angel took it over, Chris was already in jail. Mm-hmm. And Keith was kind of running the shop. So it was a Thursday night that didn't exist. I think NFA had it back in the day. And it was Liquid on its way out. So they gave me and Angel and when Keith were friends, and he said, "Listen, you want to try this Thursday night? Try it." We tried to bring people. It didn't work out too long, and then the club ended up closing. But Khaled was one. We had the main room, and Khaled was one of our first DJs. I mean, Khaled.
You still talk to him, or?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to talk to him now.
Of course.
His story is incredible. His story is incredible.
They had Riddick, not Riddick Bowe, the one that knocked out Tyson.
Buster Douglas?
No, the other one, the British guy.
Oh, Lennox Lewis.
There was the week after he knocked out Tyson in the hip hop room and shit.
Oh, that hip hop room was magical, yeah.
It was a hip hop room that opened, and it went, "Bro, what the fuck is this? The Muslim DJ?"
Crazy. How much time has changed, like even in the club scene and stuff.
But he's the one that changed it. He was the one that changed it.
No, can I tell you something? What I did change, and not that I personally, but what we were able to do is that we gave Hispanic kids.
You did.
That window to experience hip hop. You understand? In nightclubs. Because when I grew up, I wasn't chasing the nightclub, right? And I wasn't chasing the nightclubs when I was younger, So to be in it and give those Hispanic kids that window, and then when Liquid closed, this .com guy came in, made a lot of money. This guy, Sean Lewis, he came in and he bought a bunch of clubs. And one of our girls, Alex Smith, worked for him. And they say, "Hey, why don't you give my boys the Thursday night at this club called Crave?" It was right next to where it was Level at the time.
Yeah.
Give us the Thursday night. And we called it the show, we called it. And we did Thursday night, and it hit. And when it hit, Bill Spector was doing Just Got Thursdays at Crowbar. So he started, maybe we join up. And I don't forget, Sean Lewis said something like, he mouthed off to me. Something about me wearing a hat. And me and Angel looked at each other and he goes, all right, go fuck yourself. And the next day we had another party. Damn. But when you talk about marketing, right? I was doing a lot of work in Fort Myers, and it was doing mobile dentistry. It's a whole nother story. My life has a lot of chapters in it. Anyways, mobile dentistry. And part of the mobile dentistry business was that I was taking pictures of certain things that I had to make sure so we could charge Medicaid for it. I need a picture. So I had a Polaroid camera. And being who I am, I had found this great strip bar in Fort Myers called Lookers. And I just happened to have an exotic dancer at my place where I was staying, and I had the Polaroid camera, you know.
Dang.
So I had Angel, and I had an idea, and I told Angel, what if we make the flyers a Polaroid? So we put them on the floor. People got to pick up a Polaroid camera.
Right.
So one of the pictures of that girl, I asked her permission. You go, you mind if I? Sure. I mean, she had a hat down like this.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see her.
Can't see.
And we went to Kinko's. Angel goes, let's go to Kinko's. Let's print like 100 of them, and we're gonna throw it outside of Liquid. This is our first party, and we sat across the street. I remember we sat on top of like the New Times little, where the newspapers get put on. And every flyer got picked up.
That's fucking brilliant, dog.
Bro. And then we had a whole series of those flyers. You want to talk about marketing?
Yeah, man, that's brilliant.
That was marketing.
That's brilliant.
Boots on the ground.
That was marketing. And we had a whole series of different, and I got to executive produce most of those Polaroids. So
that's excellent.
It was fun.
All right, on to the second half of the interview.
But you're asking me what my favorite
No, just want a little background. Now we're going to get to the really good stuff.
But question, what happened to SMAC at the end? Like, how'd you guys dissolve? Or where did you see, like, the light? Okay, it's coming to an end.
And it's a good story because I felt personally that, because from one party turned into 2 parties a week, turned into 3 parties a week. And when I tell you we were hitting, like, we couldn't miss. We were flying at Kid Capri, Stretch Armstrong, Mark Ronson, Clark Kent. We were it because Bill had the avenue of it, but we were bringing it to Miami. So
bringing the numbers in too.
Like, what the fuck? And we were it. Like when it came to promoters, SMAC Entertainment, and then Bill went back to New York, started doing parties in New York. So we're doing parties simultaneously in Miami, New York City. Man, we were living. Like if you ask me, were we working? I was living a life, man. Amazing. I was living a life. I was making, I think, like $200,000 a year, bro. Just fucking around, chilling. We were buying real estate. We were promoting, and we're just promoting. And then Bill goes, "We got to get to Vegas because New York on Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day weekend and July 4th weekend, New York goes there." So we started doing deals in New York. I mean, in Las Vegas, to start doing parties for long weekends. So we were doing parties in 3 major cities as promoters. Like we took it as a business. It turned into a business.
You must have been dead tired, no?
I was living. I was a golden god, bro. Couldn't miss, man. We got a place. We got an apartment in Vegas, and we were moving, man. We were doing things like we would get the House of Blues, right? House of Blues was like a sawdust joint almost, and we would put Sasha and Digweed, inside of, because Sasha and Digweed for New Yorkers at the time, Miami people wouldn't have gotten it at the time. Mm-hmm. And then the next night we would do Kid Capri. One time in Vegas.
I went to some of those Kid Capri.
And that was back in the day. Remember when Hard Rock, Las Vegas was it. It was the coolest place ever.
Yeah, the pool parties.
Oh, but that's when rehab was just getting started. We were before rehab, so it wasn't there yet. But we did this one party, and the club inside of the Hard Rock Las Vegas hotel was called Babies. And you go down, it's like a basement. And we did this party that we got 2 major DJs, and we connected Babies to the Joint, which was a live music place. So we had Kid Capri downstairs and DJ AM in the Joint, and we called it Big Babies.
Damn.
And the casino was around. The line went from the beginning all the way back to the beginning again. Crushed it. Janet Jameson was the... AM did not die in a plane crash. He survived the plane crash with Travis Barker, the drummer. They both survived.
They said they never get on a plane.
It was very traumatic. DJ AM, not to get too deep into DJ AM, but DJ AM was a recovering drug addict.
Yeah.
Went sober, did what he did because DJ AM, like I get goosebumps. He changed the game. He changed what he was doing. Mark Ronson might have been a little bit before him, but what DJ AM did with that type of music, he became that celebrity DJ in that hip hop era didn't exist, but he became that.
He was a pioneer in it.
Oh man, I'll never forget the first time we got him for Thursday night at Crowbar. He was DJing. He was mixing songs with rock to disco to hip hop and everything else. And I'll never forget, we were there jamming behind him in the DJ booth, and all of a sudden we look, and the whole club was empty because people didn't get it yet. Yeah. People were like,
"Damn, that's
where's
fucking
the hip hop?"
crazy.
And this was DJ AM. But after the plane crash, he got this survivor guilt, and he went a little crazy, and then he started partying again, and that's he OD'd.
He OD'd.
Damn, which is crazy because he was such an animal.
Incredible.
Anyway, so Vegas, like we were saying, that was our promotion. And,
so you already had experience in Vegas.
And how we got out, how I started to see it. We had done so much. It was 7-8 years of doing it, and I felt like every year we went a little less. And I also saw other people getting club deals, and we weren't. I thought in my mind it was the right thing to do. And I came one year, and I came to Bill, Conrad, and Angel, and I go, listen, I think I want to find something else. I think I've done my promotions, and I want to do something else. And they weren't really happy with it, and I went and I cut my own deal with Roman Jones to go work for Roman Jones. Mm-hmm. And Roman Jones at the time, Opium Group, was the biggest nightclub conglomerate in the country.
Yep.
I mean, they were beasts. They were beasts. And Roman made me an offer. And Roman kind of manipulated me at the time because he saw that I was out and he was poking me. Why don't you just, I don't need the rest of your guys. That's,
Just together.
And, it was hard because these were my brothers. And I'll never forget, an uncle of mine is the one who gave me the best advice that I still take to this day. He passed away, but I was explaining to him what I felt hanging on to my brothers and my family for business. And I was talking to him, and he was like this. He didn't say anything. He just went like this.
Worry about yourself.
Worry about myself.
Yeah. I always say, man, if you can't take care of yourself first, bro, you can't take care of nobody else.
I have a line. Yeah. Selfishness has a bad rap. To be whole is to be holy, right?
Mm. Yeah.
To be selfishness is to be whole. To be selfish, to be you first.
Yeah.
Then you could be good
to other people.
Correct,
other
100%.
people. But if you're not first, you're fucked.
Yep.
Selfishness has a bad rap.
The question I have to ask is, and I always get this in the DM.
But wait. Let's just continue.
He's having too much fun.
No. Because this is fucking.
You shouldn't even been here,
bro. No.
Hey, go home and we'll text you when we need.
No, so
look, he's got all my notes.
No. I asked him for notes. I haven't asked any of these.
This is so good.
I got a whole line of shit.
He did tell me though. But listen, Roman Jones, bro. I've never had the opportunity to meet him. I've heard a lot of him. So what then led after that then? Because you left SMAC and then Roman Jones comes in.
So I did my tenure with Roman Jones was intense because he owned so many nightclubs at the time. He owned Opium Garden, which had Privé and Opium Lounge and Imperial Room. That was just one club, which was a magical club when it was all open and everything. In its heyday, it was the old Story building where Story was.
Yeah, where it was.
Right.
And there's nothing in there anymore, no?
There's nothing. It's been
Amnesia. You know anything about Amnesia?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I went. I went to Story though.
Phone parties. Go ahead.
Bro, I want to go finish. I have
Mansion.
I went to Mansion.
Was their next, but there was also the time to put things together. When I was working for Roman Jones. Before I was working for Roman Jones, we did a party on Sunday nights at Tantra. And Tantra back in the day had this very infamous Monday night. It was
the club with the grass that you walk.
The little patch of grass at the beginning. So, but who I met and who I became friends with at this club, at this restaurant lounge called Tantra, was the guy who was head of marketing for this little restaurant. It was a guy named Dave Grutman.
Oh, shit.
And
so Dave was working for
Tantra, just a little.
Gotcha.
But then Opium Garden, before they had any other club, they went and they started to do renovations. And they tried to do it without permitting. And they got shut down. Someone called on them and they got shut down. Dang. In the midst of them shutting down, Angel and I think Bill also, were talking to Roman Jones about, you should really talk to this guy, David Grutman. He goes, he's doing this really cool shit on marketing. And back then, Us Weekly, In Touch Magazine, that was the Bible.
That was a big thing. Yeah, that was on. Yeah.
So he figured out a way. He would go to Absolute Vodka. Say, hey, what would you pay me for a picture with Cameron Diaz drinking Absolute vodka with the bottle. Like that. I'll make sure I get a picture.
That's fucking smart.
So that fucker in this little tiny little fucking restaurant started doing that, and his tenacity back then.
It was a like party too. That Monday night was fantastic, bro.
Yeah, no, that Tancho was magical. It was ahead of his time. It was owned by this guy named Tim Hogel, and he had a wife called Irina. Remember at one time they wanted to have she was hitting on me. She wanted to take me home and have sex with me, but I felt like he would come out of the back and who knows what.
Yoke you.
Yeah, not yoke me. Actually, maybe
that's
have
like,
sex with me.
Miami style dog shit.
They were infamous
swingers.
Swingers,
you know, there's more swingers than you think out there. I mean, you probably know better than everyone. But
what I know will kill you a couple times. But yeah, so we told Roman, you got to talk to this guy. And he hired David Grutman. And what David Grutman was able to do for Opium Group was immeasurable.
Yeah.
Immeasurable
so
because
hot to get into
he was an innovator in that little space of he knew how to get to the agents and knew who the agent was or the manager was for this celebrity, this artist, and everything else. And he was a back of house guy. He was never a front of house guy.
But Dave is a Miami guy, or
he's not a Naples guy.
He's a Naples guy. Okay.
Like you can't get.
He's not Cuban either.
No, he's the nerd of nerds.
Gotcha.
Nerd of nerds. He used to wear like mandals, those men's sandals and stuff like that. He had no style, no nothing. But he was a back of house guy. But his work ethic was incredible. He was instrumental in building the Opium Group because from there they did Mansion. He completely turned around Opium Garden and everything else.
Yes, totally.
What he brought in there through sponsorship money and everything else changed the game. And then he went and they opened Mansion. He asked to be partners. They said no. And then they opened up Set, and he asked to be partners, and they said no. And then they started getting these French guys are never going to let me in. Mm-hmm. So he started his own agency called Miami Marketing Group, MMG.
Oh, wow.
MMG. And that's a whole nother story. I mean,
so then whose idea was the live thing finally? I know that obviously he partnered up with the family, like.
People don't know that story.
I feel like Liv came out of nowhere too.
No, well, here's why it came out of nowhere. Because the deal was not Dave's. The deal was Stevie D. He owned a Pure Management Group, I think it was called. There was a Pure Hospitality Group, I think it was called. It was Pure in Las Vegas was a big deal, and this guy Stevie was a beast. And he was opening up multiple venues and everything else. And the move was to get Stevie D to come do Live. Jeff Sofer and his team were dealing with Stevie D. Dave was there. Dave and his partners were able to kind of, between Brian Gordon and Ryan. I'm forgetting Ryan. I'm sorry, I forgot your name right now. But
is that MMG or that's Group Hospitality already?
That was MMG.
MMG still.
Ryan will come in. It was Platinum Rye. They went and they talked to Jeff Sofer on that. I said, "Why don't you give it to us? Give it to us." It wasn't give it to Dave. It was give it to us. But Dave was there. Dave was front and center. Dave was doing the walkthroughs before it opened, Live, and I was working for Roman Jones at the time.
In the work.
What?
Putting in
the work for real. So Live wasn't his, but he got handed it to him, right? So at the end of the day, I love Dave to death, but he doesn't talk about that. And it's okay to talk about that, that sometimes luck is okay.
Yeah. I mean,
it's what you do with that.
Of course.
Opportunity is what makes you different from everybody else. And he took that opportunity. Now, where I came in was that me and Roman, after 3.5 years, were hitting a wall. And Roman had really changed. Roman was going through a lot of changes himself, and he had become someone else. And he was telling friends of mine that he doesn't know why he paid me. So I was like, fuck.
God damn, dog.
I think my job might be done here, right?
He
actually told my roommate, Little Joe, that, And so...
Were you upset with that shit? Or?
I was not upset. I was hurt. I was hurt. So what happened there was that how important luck is in life, right? I lived with Chris Nunez. I don't know if you know Chris Nunez. Remember the show Miami Inc.?
Of course.
Yeah. Miami Inc. Yeah. So me and him had a house in Belmead. Just so happened to us 4 houses down lived Dave Grutman. And Chris was talking to him, and Chris, knowing what was happening, go, man, Dave, why don't you bring on Mo? You're going to need the help.
Damn, that's brilliant.
He's fighting with fucking Roman. And I was kind of broken because I was so hurt. Roman telling people I don't know what I did for him. Dave Grutman is going to open up this monster club. And I didn't even know what I was going to do for David. I was like, well, I'm going to be a promoter for him. I didn't know. But I'll never forget, I interviewed with Joe Lopez. And he goes, what are you going to do for us? And I told him, I don't know.
Bring the pain.
Bring people.
Bring bitches.
Bring people. You know, because, listen, you could look back now, oh, Liv, what a monster. Nobody knew what was going to be. People were talking shit. Like, I even thought, man, I don't know. It's kind of far up there, bro.
It's far up
there,
gonna man.
Work?
The parking was a mission.
I always have this this joke with Jonathan Chebin, who's we became friends through Dave and stuff like that. But he was there with Dave when all this was opening. Food God, Jonathan Chebin.
Yeah.
Sorry, he probably sued me for saying Jonathan Chebin. Sorry, Food God.
Did he actually change his name?
He actually changed his name.
Cool.
So he always made fun of me because I said, man, be careful with the valet. If your valet sucks, you're not gonna get this club full because there's nowhere to park here. So as I went to go work for him, his inside joke was like, oh, the valet, huh? And then as Liv got bigger, it's never going to work, Mo. It's never going to work, the valet,
Bro, they used to kill you at the valet. It's like $60, $80.
Through everything I've ever done, right? And you say, what was my favorite parties? Yeah, I had parties like home cooking that were amazing and at Rain and stuff like that. I would give away free cheeseburgers. There were parties, that was that infamous Puffy story that happened that was in Rain on Tuesday night. Anyways, but the ride of Liv was intense.
Bro, I think
I did 12 years. And let me tell you something.
But you were there.
There's something, and this is something that I'll criticize Dave Grutman on record on too. He loves to go on his little stories of how we knew, or how he knew, and how he. We didn't know, bro. we didn't
know,
but it's okay. It's okay.
Dumb luck.
We didn't know.
Nah, but bro, you work like a dog.
Know. But we were firing. And we were trying to catch up to it. You understand? Like Liv started taking off because when it started, it wasn't an automatic hit, but it started to grow. It started to move. I mean, 6 months into working with Dave, into Liv, 6 months in, he goes, we need another party, right? And I'm going to forget Jovar was kind of my counterpart with me. Jovar is DJ Ruckus' brother, Jovar Andrews. He was like, let's do a hip hop party. He looked at me knowing that's what I did. Yeah. He was a partner with us in doing Crowbar. So he was like, and we're like, Sunday? Let's do Sunday, Now, leading up to it, my first phone call was Michael Gardner from Headliner Group. Yep. David called Louis Oliver. He had a relationship with Louis Oliver.
Yeah, Big Lou.
So I'll never forget, I had this meeting with Michael Gardner, and I'm trying to tell him about how the deal structure is going to work. Now, you got to understand, Michael Gardner did hip-hop parties, and there were black hip-hop parties. Yeah. That was his demo. That's what he did. But in the industry back then, he would get clubs that were struggling. So if I'm a club owner, and I got this guy, Michael Gardner, in front of me, listen, give me your Friday night. I'm going to fucking rock it. But I want 100% of the door, and I want 30% of the bar. But I will guarantee you money is going to be flowing through this place. I'm struggling to pay my bills as a club owner. Go ahead. But what happens is the club can't sustain not only off one night, that deal is just like unforgiving. So that's where Michael Gardner came from, eating like that. So when I tell him, I'm going to give you 10% of the bar and 50% of the door, I'll never forget his words. He goes, it's a fucking sucker deal. I'm not taking that, dude. And I go to him. I go, Michael, something like this has never been done before in what we're building here. This was me from the cuff. I go, I promise you two things. And he'll test this. You take this night, it will change your business and it will change your life. Did I know? No, I didn't. I didn't know. But in all great stories, bro, if you're not selling it, you gotta sell it. You gotta sell it. So, but listen. Live when it started. Now, if I tell you it was just us, at the time it was Miami Marketing Group team and Louis Oliver and Mike Gardner made that work. No, when it started, the party kind of sucked. We called it Imagine Sundays, and it sucked. But as luck would have it, because you need luck, there was a little rapper by the name of Lil Wayne who lived in Miami.
Damn, yeah.
He came one Sunday. We comped him his table. Performed a concert.
That's it.
He came the next Sunday. We comped him a table, gave us a concert. He came the next one. So all of a sudden, and then he was the first DJ that put us in a song. Live on Sunday, KO Day on Mondays, right? So, and then
KO
other artists who came to pay respects to him would come to Lil Wayne's party at Live. So they would perform for free. We weren't even paying these guys. This was before people started paying artists big money, you know? And it's a story because you were asking me before we started about Vegas. Vegas nightlife is, and I don't care who wants to tell me otherwise, Vegas nightlife is because Live was leading the way, because we were not only being run by a guy named Joe Lopez who worked for Stevie D and who came from that service industry, a machine that is Las Vegas. Joe Lopez implemented. The one guy I've learned most in my entire career in nightlife was Joe Lopez. Mexican guy from New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico, but that guy fucking ran a tight ship. We learned a lot from him. So as that thing was turning and Live and Vegas is watching us, because throughout the years what would happen was that Vegas host would get paid or go do a trip to Miami, see what's coming. Oh, shit. You gotta understand,
check the vibe, yeah.
we were breaking. Listen, we didn't always hit, we didn't always work. So imagine, so when Lil Wayne starts doing this, Live on Sunday became bigger than Live. Yeah, it was a thing.
Yeah, all you see everywhere.
Did you ever get to experience it?
No, I've never been to Live on Sundays, but I've been to Live prior.
Well, that Live on Sunday back then, it was something special.
Did I go? I think
Fuck up your Monday
I may have gone. That's why I need to be working on Monday.
But listen, what I'm trying to bring back.
You have to work. That's right.
What I'm trying to make the point of, you say you knew. You don't know. You're trying things. Listen, we were able to do. Get into the Latin side. We started chasing. Mentirosa, right? We started chasing reggaeton early. It wasn't just us. It wasn't David Grutman had a dream and thought, let's do Latin. It wasn't that. It was like kind of seeing what's happening. We had a relationship with Garcia and Angel from Miami Vice, who were doing good little parties in little places. I think it was through Rob Garcia. We called them in and we had a meeting with them. And then Alex Perez from
Mika,
Mika, Mocha Group, Miami Major Food Group. Guys, Frank White, he knows what I'm talking about. He goes to me, you got to hire my boy Kirk. I had already met Kirk. They called him Reggaeton Kirk, And that combination, that combination of putting those guys together, we started Sundays at Story trying to do this party. It didn't work. I'll never forget, one of our first parties was Ozuna and Bad Bunny performed. Now, I didn't know Ozuna was. I didn't know who Bad Bunny. I didn't even know what Bad Bunny looked like, right? And I'll never forget, I'm in the back of Story, and I see this tall, lanky, little skinny kid wearing a black and white Hawaiian shirt with white Bermuda shorts. Lanky, looked at it. I was going to throw him out. I went back to say, I'm not letting this kid in shorts. And I did it because I just saw people were moving around him. But when that guy got on the DJ booth and Bad Bunny was when that voice came out of him, I'm like, that voice is coming out of that skinny little kid, bro. And that was my first experience with Bad Bunny.
That's incredible.
Which is also the stuff I don't take lightly of what I got to experience in that, like the people who I got to see. And
a lot of firsts.
Listen, I didn't let Travis Scott in one time before he was Travis Scott.
Yeah.
If you look at Travis Scott, he's not Travis Scott yet.
Bro, it's funny you said that. That happened to me with Dave Chappelle back in the Whiskey Lounge, 609.
You didn't let him in?
Skinny black guy went into the bathroom, and we're all in the bathroom.
Oh, boy.
And imagínate, they were like, yo, who the fuck's this guy, whatever. He's handing out flyers. We're taking the flyer. We're peeing on him, and it was Dave Chappelle.
No way.
Motherfucker hit like a couple months after, like, damn it, that was him. I swear to God, true story. True story.
What were you going to ask?
I was going to say, you speak a lot like if these times are like past you. Like
it is past me.
It is. That's what I was gonna say. So where are you right now, like in your career?
I'm glad you asked that question. I don't mean to interrupt. Most of my DMs, I guess, in the last 2 years, because they know that we're close. Where the hell is Mo? He disappeared for a little bit. I think he opened up a restaurant in Aspen. You still work that, or is that still going?
I don't. I still have some interest in it, but part of my story of getting to where I'm at, I think in life, you need to get your ass handed to you. You know, so leaving Groot Hospitality was a big chapter in my life because I had, when me and Dave were in business together, I worked for Dave, right? And Live Nation was talking about coming in. They showed interest in Groot Hospitality. That for me, doing what I've done in my lifetime, in my work, in my career, that's what you strive for a publicly traded company like Live Nation to say, hey, I'm interested in that. Now, did I do that by myself? No, but I took a big stake in it. You know, I ran that company always like if it was mine. Took a big stake in it, and I did it with a great core team of people. I took a lot of weight on me of making nighttime promoter guys into also office guys and
CEO guys,
and how to make it work. You know, I always have this little line that people always poke me at. I say, I'm not a king, but I'm a king maker. Because I like to see people fucking move, man, and that I took it, and I always ran, and I was good at it. I was good because I gave people time, and that's why me and Dave always worked well together. Dave didn't have that patience to deal with people like I did, so I took a big stake in building people. You know, those are my guys, and some people are still there. Some people moved on. Some people are doing great, and I like to watch that. You know. But when we went to sign the deal, me and Dave never had a contract with each other, and the contract kind of sucked. Now, did I get what I was asking for? Yeah, Dave will sit here and tell me, yeah, I got the deal that I was asking for.
Yeah.
It wasn't, if I was more of a businessman, which I'm not, I'm more of just an emotional person. An emotional Cuban.
I feel like I'm the same way though, man.
When I got my deal done, signed, me and Dave were at odds. We were not happy with each other, and people felt it when we walked into rooms and we were both in there.
But was it like? I guess that's like more of a money thing then. No, you know, it's not.
No, not for me. It wasn't money for me because you know Dave will tell you I got what I asked for, right? But my problem was I was hurt. I felt hurt. I felt gutted, man. Fuck, you're a guy, dude.
Yeah.
You've had me for pennies on the dollars for years, bro, and I've run this place like if it was mine.
Yeah.
Never stole a dime. Fucking bled. I lost a wife in the process. I gave everything. I was it. I'm not regretting any of it, but I gave it all. You know.
Yeah.
You know. I don't got to tell you. So I was hurt. So I'll never forget. You know, January rolls around. It was 2019. I'm in Tokyo, Japan.
You got a friend over there. I've seen
Fuwa's son. It's one of my favorite places in the world to be.
Mine too. I
travel a lot, so but
I told him
Japan is.
I went there for my honeymoon.
Yeah. If you ever want to get inspired, you know, and you're in hospitality, you go there because it's another world. Anyway, so I was in Tokyo with my boys Greg and Chris Nunez, and the deal was done and the wire hit. So I look at my phone and I see the most money I've ever seen in my career.
It feels good.
But for me, it was bittersweet because I had to fight for it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was upset about was I felt like he took that away from me. I was like, I hit, and you motherfucker, you fucked this up for me, bro. You should be, you know? So when I got back, that was 2019, December. It was Christmas. I get to Miami, January. We're back in it. We're working. Deal signed. I got money in the bank. January, crushing. We had opened Story. It was a hit. We opened Komodo. Yeah. It was a hit. We opened Swan. It was a hit. We're opening Poppy Steak. Well, we're talking about firing. Now, you got to understand, at this point, I didn't have a life. I was always working.
Yeah.
It was it. My whole life was this work, building this company, you know?
Question, those deals, are they like independent? Are they come from the group? Are they investors coming in?
Some were management. Like Live was a management deal.
Gotcha.
We didn't own Live. That was Jeff Sofer's club. Nobody named Live. Jeff Sofer is the one who wanted to call the club 54.
Because of the street?
Because of Studio 54.
Studio 54.
Which is an iconic club, right?
Yeah.
But do you know what the Roman numerals 54 are?
Live. Yeah, that's a good one. Though.
So when February hits, it's a good lead in. I'm glad you asked that question. So when Super Bowl hits, that February of 2020, what Super Bowl was it?
Yeah, 54.
Super Bowl Live.
Yeah, Live. Yeah, it was right here.
People thought we had paid to get, because people didn't understand why does it say Live.
I remember seeing
the
that.
logo was exactly the same and everything else. So imagine, as we're hitting on all cylinders, I'll never forget, my older brother looks at me and goes, "What's wrong with you? You don't look good." I wasn't. I was, in my mind, I had taken blood money. I almost didn't take the deal. I was going to walk away before I got paid. And my brother told me, my older brother's like it's my conscience, my guy I go to. You know, my older brother's 8 years older. He told me, I will not let you walk away from that money. That's your money. You earn that money, you know. But to me, it was blood money because I'm an emotional Cuban. Yeah. It wasn't, and I was miserable, and I was drinking, and I was partying, and I was miserable because I was hiding what I felt.
Yeah, I remember.
And my brother told me, "I think you need to talk to him. Either put it to bed or leave." March rolls around. "Hey, Dave, I need to meet with you." We sat down. I told him, "Listen, let's not talk about this deal anymore. Let's build this company as big as it's ever going to get." We hugged it out. I'm sorry, and let's do it. A week later, the world shut down. Pandemic hits. And 2 months I didn't have a girl. I don't have kids. I couldn't see my parents. I couldn't go to the beach. I live on the sand. I couldn't go to the beach. I was roped off.
To do your cleanse?
To do my cleanse. But I had a little boat. I had a little 27-foot Scout I would take out. I'll never forget, I took out Eris, one of the owners of Kiki's, Roman Jones' partner. We were on the boat. Back then in the pandemic, you couldn't tie up to other boats. You couldn't go to the sandbar, but you could tie up and just take a dip. We anchor up, and I tell Roman, "I think I'm leaving." And he's taking up, sure, he's about to jump in the water. "Where are you going?" "No, I think I'm
leaving the
out."
country.
"Shut up." He tells me, he jumps in the water. He comes out of the water. He goes, "You're not serious, are you?" I spent 2 months. I didn't drink. I couldn't get laid because nobody could come into the building or anything else. I couldn't. I started taking life inventory. I was 50 years old. I had a bank full of money. I was liquid. I didn't have any responsibilities, really, other than checking in my parents. And the thought of leaving made me feel good. So 2 months in, I go to Dave and I said, "Listen, I don't want to do this anymore." And he laughed. He goes, "Hey, all right." I'm like, "No. Listen, I could have told him, "Oh, go fuck yourself." I didn't. My headspace was like, I'm not happy with the person I am right now. I got to go. I don't know if it's find myself, but I know that right now I gotta walk away from this. Thank you for everything, but I got to go. He goes, "Do me a favor. If you wake up 2 months from now and say, 'Holy shit,' call me first." Okay.
You did a lot of traveling, right?
Oh, I spent about a year and a half traveling.
Amazing.
Airport to airport. It was crazy.
I kind of was flying off the seat of my pants. A friend of mine, Cisco, wanted to show me Croatia. He goes, "Man, we could start our own hospitality company in Croatia." And they were letting in Americans fly in the middle of COVID, 2 months into COVID. So Miami was shut down, everything else. I fly to Croatia. So a buddy of mine, Joe, "Hey, you're in Dubai." "Yeah." "Okay, I'm coming over." Flew to Dubai. Saw a girlfriend of mine in Frankfurt. "Hey, I'm coming to Frankfurt." I spent like that not 2 years, about a year.
It was nonstop.
Traveling. I'll never forget. I had friends of mine. You know, man, I'm 50. All my friends, most of them married. Don't stop. Because it was a special time.
That's where the hell you been? Where you?
Yeah, bro. That's usually what you work for.
It saved my life. It saved my life.
Listen, I want to move into now. Now, apparently,
oh, that's a fucking incredible story.
Now you're more on the water than you are on land. You're in Bimini now. Talk to me why Bimini, and And what are you doing over there? Because the videos and content that you're doing out there, or what I'm seeing, is amazing.
And when can we do a shoot over there, please?
Yeah. Bimini, we're just not. Yeah, my phone is like, when am I going to go see it? Right. So Bimini is passion project / the one thing that kind of gets me up in the morning, because people show me spaces here, and whether it be nightlife or hospitality spaces here in Miami, and I love Miami, but you also got to understand that a big piece of why I'm entertaining Bimini and why I'm in Bimini now.
You live there now currently.
I have a place. I spend a lot of time, but being in Bimini it's a 25-minute seaplane right away. So it takes me longer to drive to Coral Gables from the beach than it does to fly over there on a seaplane. So, but the reason why I'm in Bimini was I got my ass kicked for 2 years. You know, when I came back into the business, I got invited by Matt Zingler and Jojo LaHood, who
Matt Zingler's from that concert,
Rolling Loud.
This is post your year trip and everything.
After I went to find myself.
Got you. So now you're like, I'm ready to come back.
I didn't make that much money. I needed to get back to work. I needed to get back to work, and I got invited to a club called Gala, where Jojo came up with a name, and Jojo, him inviting me to come into this project was nice. It was very nice because I hired Jojo early on in Live and the building of the company, and he took a big stake on helping me build that company. And Jojo was one guy that I've ever put. It's going to sound a little weird. Put myself into him. I didn't rape him or anything like that. But he was one of those guys that as I talked to, everything that I would talk to him about, he got it. He understood it. He understood VIPs. He had come from a service industry business. He had worked for Carefree. Carefree was the first luxury car rental place. It was the first place renting Ferraris and shit like that. It was ahead of its time, So he invites me into this club. Little club, Gala, the old Mokai space. And we opened F1 weekend. It was a hit. LeBron came.
Yeah, it was small too.
It was small. It was a little, for me, it was weird. I think back now, there was something that was me. It was off on me, and I couldn't understand what it was.
It was a weird space for you.
It was weird for me. I couldn't get my bearings, and I know what it is now because I look back at it, but at the time I didn't know. But when we opened, we were the talk of the industry. Like, wow, man, these guys win. And the guys came from Dave Grutman, and they came and they opened the space. And then a year to the day of its anniversary, someone comes in and kills somebody.
Holy
literally
shit.
Executed like a hit. Kills somebody and dies.
You were there inside the club at the time?
Not only was I there, and a lot of people don't know this story, but we were in the back of the house. We had set up like a little table in the back of the house. And it was F1 weekend. J Balvin's in there, Meek Mill, celebrities. Mike Tyson was walking around in the club. And there's this girl, Stefanelli. She used to work for us, server. She puts her arm around Matt Zingler and Jojo and says, "So boys," and I'm standing right in front of her, "So boys, how does it feel to have the hottest nightclub in the city?" I want to say 3 seconds later, you hear a crash, like loud. Couldn't make out what it was, but it was a crash. And we look out the side doors. It was the back of the house, so we had those little windows, and you just see people filing out. I open the door, and the club's lights on. Everybody's gone, just bodies everywhere. Remember, I see J Balvin right there, like hiding with people. And within that week, I get the biggest offer of my career, which is Jeff Sofer calling me and saying, "Hey,
come to Vegas.
Come to Las Vegas and help me open up Fontainebleau, Las Vegas." Now, we'll talk about full circle, I owe a lot to Jeff Sofer. I mean, I made my biggest deal working under him. Yeah, I worked for David, but essentially I worked for Jeff Sofer, and it was insanity. So you're talking about some peaks and valleys, right? Open up Gala, hit, a year later, death. Go to Las Vegas, open up the Las Vegas hotel.
Crazy.
And Jeff is saying, I need you. Jeff Sofer telling me, I need you to be the guy here. The guy.
The hand of God.
I don't want you just working the nightclubs. I want you to do everything.
You were like Ross
I got this.
I've heard. Are we good, Jay?
Yeah. Over on
Brother, it's going back a little bit. I've
gone too far?
No. Listen, we can do all day, dog. Listen. Talking about Poppy Steak, right? That concept, was it taken a little bit from this guy Nusret, from that steakhouse, how did that come about?
The Poppy story is
because with the briefcase and all that.
The Poppy is a whole movie of a story, because Poppy was just a friend of mine. He got introduced to me by Alec Monopoly.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yo, Mo, I need you to, this is Poppy." His name's David, but I call him Poppy. And Alec met him in New York, and Alec spent a lot of time. And Alec would always tell me, "Hey, he's like my special project." I saw him in the clubs. He wasn't doing it right. So if you got to know Alec is like a cartoon character himself. But his energy in Poppy was important. And I'll never forget, like, the second time I saw Poppy gave me a little present, put it in my hand, and I put it in my pocket. Throughout the years, people would always give me presents. I wouldn't take money, so people would give me stuff. I forget, he goes, "Game changer, change your life," whatever. And I opened it up, and it was a Tom Ford beard oil. I opened it when I got home, put it on. Next time I saw Poppy, "Come on, smell my beard," So me and him hit it off, and we became friends. But Poppy was just a friend of mine. He wasn't in the hospitality game.
Yeah. He's not like a chef or anything like that, or he was?
Not a chef.
It's fucking crazy.
He's not a chef. He's not a chef. But Poppy's story, just his story, is a movie on its own. He was, raised, born in a Hasidic Jewish Orthodox family. So, the locks.
Yeah.
His brother left first. His older brother left first. Yanni left first, and then Poppy followed. And his story from it was incredible. And I don't want to tell his story because it's his story to tell. But he went from that to trying to find another community within the community he had just left. And he somehow or another ran into what do you say? Is it a sensei, or what do you say when the teacher, like a karate teacher, what do you call it?
Sensei.
Sensei, I guess, is a sensei. And he got into karate. People don't know this, but he's a six degree black belt.
Damn, bro.
I always say, man, I would love for someone to come fuck with you.
See
it. One time we were wrestling in space, like 6 o'clock in the morning. He threw me across like three VIP tables. Anyway, so we used to hang out. He would host me in New York. It was just a very nice friendship. I would go over there and I would come vent about all my problems in nightlife. But one thing, every house he would get, he would always have an outdoor area to grill. He loved to go to the kosher butcher and cook some steaks. He had a little special Poppy sauce.
Oh, wow.
I know the secret to Poppy sauce.
Sweet chili oils. It's pretty simple. Some public stuff, but hey, it works. So when he started to come to Miami, I remember David would make fun of me all the time. I was like, "Why you hang out with this guy? He's a loser, this and that." But once you meet Poppy, you can't not fall in love with him. He got this infectious personality. So then David said, "You got to cook me a Poppy steak." So he started cooking Poppy steaks. And then the idea came, well, like, why don't we, Poppy wants to spend more time here. He's looking for something to do. Why don't we start selling Poppy steaks at Komodo, an Asian restaurant? Why not? It makes sense, right? So we put it in the menu. Kosher tomahawk $200 Poppy steaks, and he would show up sometimes. He would bring it out in the butcher's thing and cook it. The first year we sold over $1 million worth of these Poppy steaks. And then there was a flight. Me and Dave, I saw this place. Used to be Red Ginger. It was owned by Russell Galbert and his properties, and we saw this space. We're looking at space. I wanted to do a Japanese steakhouse, and then there was a flight from New York to Chicago, which Noah Tempelberg was on, and they were talking about it. Food God was on the flight too, and David and Poppy. I wasn't on the flight. And what do we do with this space? And Noah said, "Would you guys do a Poppy steak concept?"
Oh, fucking no way.
Now, if you think about it,
Noah owns Tao.
I'm sorry, Noah Tempelberg, owner of Tao Group. And Noah and Jason are
huge.
If there's a captain in our industry, they are the captain of the nightclub in the restaurant world. There's nobody bigger. Those guys are the real deal. Anyway, so like that. So we started chasing down a Poppy steak concept, and me and Poppy had this inside joke. And Papi would look at me as we were doing tastings and everything else. Was like, you guys aren't really opening a restaurant for right? This guy's never been in the business.
Yeah,
just doing not a cook. And it was maybe our arrogance because we felt like we couldn't miss, you know.
Yeah.
And we could do this. Who are you to tell us?
Firepower too.
We were firing. Firing. So, you know, he had this vision that the opening day we'd have the grand opening, and then okay, guys, shut it down. It was just a pipe, you know. We're just doing that. So, you know, we opened this restaurant, right? And, you know, starts to move. You know, David's doing his magic, bringing the celebs. And, you know, when David gets behind something, it's a real push. It's a full court press. He knows what he's doing. Nobody's better at openings than that guy. In the industry. You know, I'll give him his props where...
No, you see it, you know. You see
no, there is. You know? But you also see it's not enough.
Yeah.
You could have the best opening in the world, but if you're not driving it, and the reason why I say that is because Papi took that restaurant and he took this opportunity and made it his own, and that guy was relentless. I'll never forget the day because you brought up the briefcase, the beef case.
The beef case. That's what
he pitches it to me, and I thought, that's disgusting. Why would I want to see the piece of meat that I'm about to put in my mouth in a fucking old briefcase?
$1,000.
I don't even know if it started at $1,000, but yes, it was going to be some exuberant bit. I just couldn't get over. You're going to bring that to me in a briefcase?
Some fake ice?
When what? Yeah, what the fuck? The fuck did I know? And that's the beauty of marketing. That's the beauty of hospitality, right? It's just you don't know. Had nothing to do with Nurserat or anything else. But Papi. First of all, he's got a palate like nobody else's. He could tell you when a fish is bad just by looking at it. Puts it in his mouth, he'll spit it out. He's not
so it's not one of these like overly hyped places. I haven't had a chance of being. You know,
you got to go. The food is real. He backed it up. It's not hype. It's real. But it's him. He stays on and he pushes and he comes up with marketing ideas, and that's his win. And then when we're going to Vegas, he's opening up Papi Steak Las Vegas, which is breaking records in Las Vegas.
My other question regarding the same world is we talked about consistency, but like I seen like Key Club came up, same thing, went down. Swan, I think also too. Swan is no longer available, or Swan went down too.
No, Swan closed.
Swan's closed. Like, is this like something like industry wise where these restaurants are struggling, or what do you think is behind this type of? Or it's just like sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss.
I think Miami is, you know, at the end of the day, history repeats itself, right? You know, I think people came down on the gold rush of the pandemic. The money that was being done on the pandemic was not realistic. At the beginning, we were the only city on the planet open. Yeah, we were. Florida was open, but it was Miami's Florida. You know what I mean? You're coming to Florida, you're coming to Miami. Yeah. So the numbers were unattainable. But then obviously the rest of the world was coming. Other operators were coming. I'm like, yeah, look at this. This place is gold. So people are signing leases. People throughout this, what we're feeling now is that people are signing leases that are just not sustainable. So there is a lot of that you're feeling now. What happened to Swan? I mean, as a promoter, you can come up with 101 reasons why the party sucked last night. Mm. Yeah. What happened to Swan? Started off with the famous chef. The famous chef left. Did we figure out the food? We didn't.
Food fell off
through the pandemic, though. Through the pandemic, if it was me, the Swan ran as as an entertainment venue, almost more like a nightlife venue, and it crushed through the pandemic.
The outdoor space was available.
Because anything outdoor, Komodo made a lot of money too because there was a lot of outdoor spaces. So people were finding those cracks like Kiki's was doing great before the pandemic, and through the pandemic, it completely changed the dynamic of that place. So people were making money. That was crazy. I mean, all the investors got paid back, and Pharrell was part of it at the time, and I think they made it. I know, but I think they made a mistake. They went back to being a restaurant.
Gotcha.
I think that was a mistake. Listen, it's easy to be the Monday morning quarterback. I wasn't in their business anymore. I was
talking about Monday quarterback.
Yeah.
You're older than me by a couple of years. I don't see you're old. You got muscles now I've never seen before in the last couple of months. So I know
hormone replacement therapy.
Peptides.
I know you stay fit and stuff like that. What do you tell an 18-year-old Mo now if you can go back?
Man, I'll tell you. It's a great question. It's going to be okay. An 18-year-old me I was a late bloomer. I always hung out with the cool kids. I always had friends, but I always have this thing that if I could do it all over again, I would not change a thing, even on my beatdowns, because it made me who I am, and I'm still here, right? The health is everything, is a real thing. Yeah. I'm healthy. I listen, if I get hit by lightning tomorrow, don't cry for me, Argentina.
Hell no, especially the life you've lived.
I'm okay. And the fairy tale of an upbringing I've had in this magical city and everything else. I'm up. And people ask me, so are you happy now? Happy's not a thing. I'm at peace.
You have this aura. I think you should maybe run for politics or something, bro.
No, that's his
I
brother.
I can't because, and so one thing that I suffered through my brother's politics, and my brother's he's a good guy and he's very intelligent and intellectual guy, like very smart, but man, politics is ugly, man. It's ugly. We can't talk about politics in my family because, I voted for Trump and it's not a very popular thing. And
questions here to
go for it.
Finish this podcast
Go.
Because we're over time here. Where's Miss Garcia, bro? Will there ever be a Miss Garcia? I know I've seen the ones that come in and out.
It's tough for me. Are
you ever going to get married?
I don't know. I know what type of father I would be.
You'd be a great father, man, yeah.
And I think having a child, I know, has to be the most beautiful experience. I watch you with your kids and everything else.
Yeah, he's a great father.
And I know how much that changes a person, but there's another side to that. It's nice to be selfish, man. Such a nice. Don't argue it. I'm not saying I'm not going to have kids, but what I'm trying to tell you, I want you to stop for a second, right? Because how important your children are to you.
I know, but
they maybe saved your life, right? Do you think?
You say that, but you've lived the lives of 3 different people on one body.
Yeah, maybe more, but.
Exactly. So, ¿qué te falta to do? You know what I'm saying? To be honest, we've had this conversation.
Maybe it's that. Maybe I have a little kid. Maybe I
not even a little kid. Maybe just
maybe I go back to my project in Bimini, in Bimini, and I raise my little family in a tropical island.
I would love to see you doing that, and bring the beard back a little more. It's too low.
The Bimini's,
and your kids are gonna watch this episode one day and be like, "God damn, who is my father?"
Bimini's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I want to wrap this up real quick about Bimini. What are the future plans for Bimini right now? And second part of that is, can we set up a podcast?
Yes, we have to. We've been talking about it. Bimini is, if I tell you the dynamics of Bimini, and you guys have never, let's say, have heard of Bimini, but if I tell you there's this tropical Bahamian island with these crystal blue waters that sit 25 minutes of a seaplane ride away from the most marketable city on the planet.
Yes.
And you're in another country. Good point. Does that work? Now, people say...
Is it affordable?
No, I think we just got to...
I've seen you on... Nobody can buy.
Well, here's the thing. Not everything's affordable. Everything has its markets. There are cruise ships that go to Bimini. I just came from the cruise line. There's the ferry. The ferry's a little rough seas now in the series. But people take it. But at the end of the day, I like the project. It's hard. What we're trying to do. The homes exist and everything else. We're putting a concierge program together. I took over the marina. The marina's the biggest marina in the Bahamas.
All right. A last question, which is the best one.
Wait. That's not the last question, but go for it.
Well, go ahead. You go.
No, go for it.
We're almost at 2 hours. I'm just saying.
No, I love it, but I have one more that we have now. Flow, the new Flow one that we have.
Go with yours first, then.
All right. So
go. This is all sponsored shit. Look this way.
Brother, just to be, we have to do an episode 2. Because we didn't get through all this stuff.
I told you it was a story.
And we can follow it up with it at Bimini. I'm down to do it. We've been to Panama before and we did it over there and it was just as cool.
I would love it.
All right. This segment is presented by BrandsMart, your number one place to shop for holiday needs. Okay.
Wow.
Mo.
We got BrandsMart on board.
Mo.
That's big. Congrats, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Theoretically speaking, you can get a gift from BrandsMart, right? What would what's on your top 3 on your wish list? It doesn't have to be nothing from BrandsMart.
Number 3 first.
But as you what do you want for Christmas? Give me 3 spots from Christmas. Three gifts.
We don't all love BrandsMart, dog. We all group.
No. But the reason why I say that is because I want to know really what he really would like.
What I would get, I would clean the house for my nephews. From I'm trying to go down the list of what BrandsMart sells. BrandsMart is kind of like a lot of electronic stuff.
Everything,
right?
But in general, what do you want for Christmas? Because we could always tie something in.
Because I dress up for Santa Claus for my nephews.
Okay, there we go.
Them presents. So BrandsMart, I'd have to go, full digital.
Digital.
Buy some, maybe a couple Apple Watches for both my nephews.
Okay, Apple Watch is a great gift.
I would buy them the newest of either PlayStation or Xbox.
That's a great one too. We're doing a giveaway with them soon, so there is.
And I'd make them share one big TV.
Definitely TV. That's my number one.
A big boy.
That's a good one.
Okay,
that's a good one.
Okay,
all right, that's a pretty good list. Now the real list. This is brought to you by Toast, Florida's #1 POS system for all your restaurant needs. This is a good one. This is going to get burned on. Mo Garcia, give me your top 3 restaurants that you like in Miami.
Starting with number 3.
Starting with number 3 that you cannot have worked at or have any affiliation with. You like to eat. Number 3.
These are serious.
I'll start with sushi. And Yasu Tanaka and MIA Market and Design District. I think it's the best sushi in the world.
Damn, I haven't
That's
been
a
there.
huge statement.
You've been
It's
there?
the best sushi.
Yes.
And not only that, because the perfect meal is you get the salmon special or the tuna special that has like a couple nigiris.
It is perfect.
And then you get maybe an uni hand roll, and then Yasu also has the ramen shop right next to it. So I get the ramen first, and then get the sushi first, and then get a nice pork.
Yeah, sushi
ramen.
always first. Damn, that's a solid pick. He's a Michelin rated. Okay,
Number 2,
Mo Garcia's pick is
Garcia's, but there's just one order. There's only one order.
Why do you say Garcia's?
Because
Is it because your last name is Garcia's?
No, because I grew up with them. I taught
did too.
Este's daughters how to swim and stuff
Nostalgic?
like that. Nostalgic, but there's just one order that doesn't go wrong, which is the yellowtail, filleted, not blackened, just filleted, side of yellow rice, house salad, tostones, but you got to start with a cup of sopa chenda.
Sopa de chenda.
That's that perfect
solid.
order.
That's the Latino and Cuban in us. That's one of my picks to the shit. That little combo.
I'm surprised we haven't even touched the flan test yet. So.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, we'll stay that up for Bimini. Number 1 restaurant that Mo Garcia likes to attend to now.
The
currently.
Cuban sandwich at Las Olas Market on Miami Beach, bro. It's a fucking sandwich, the Cuban sandwich.
Las Market.
Oh, you don't even know it? This is old school. It's been there for years.
Cuban sandwich. That's your
They
favorite
put
Cuban sandwich?
They put real pork in it, like shredded pork in it. The pork, they get it just right. The Cuban sandwich at Las Olas. You weren't ready for that.
I wasn't. ready for that.
Nobody's mentioned that one.
What about that honorable mention? You go with your parents real quick. That little Cuban spot in the beach that you always go to.
Sazon.
Is that the real deal?
Sazon, when it comes, like I said, being Cuban descent, always eating your best Cuban meal, Sazon. It's not only that it's good because it was switched owners. The new owners have really stepped it up, and they have a great product. The place is booming, but strong sopa pollo, which tells you a lot on a Cuban place.
I know you know your shit.
He knows his shit.
Picadillo is very strong. You know, there's a lot of sazon in Miami Beach.
Listen,
I gotta go check
the Cuban in him is just like
they have a carne asada special that they do with congri, and the congri is solid. To get a commercial congri good, black beans and black rice. No, what's the difference?
Moro is mixed.
No.
Moro is Nicaraguan. Congri is mixed and Moro is the same
is a
thing.
different bean.
Yeah, it's a bigger red bean. Yeah.
You know, I wanted to get your thoughts on. You mentioned Garcia's, brother. The river is really growing a lot.
I mean,
now,
listen. Right now, the River Kings are Roman Jones and Aris. They're opening a place called
Habibi's
Pirata. Habibi's is doing great. They got Kiki's that is an institution and still doing real numbers.
Are they continuing to grow there? They have other projects.
They bought Casablanca.
Oh wow!
They're going to
reach out to
reconcept.
Roman to have him on.
They're going to reconcept Casablanca. They brought in Nicola Ciervo, remember from Wall, was Navin's partner and everything else. And they bought the little church there by Garcia's. They're going to do a place in there.
Wow,
that's the next place to pop, man.
They bought other places on the river too. They're coming. Yeah, river is a monster because if you look at it, there's very few businesses on the water in Miami. And Fort Lauderdale, they're everywhere.
Yeah, people were scared, but now they see the growth, and now everybody wants to be on there.
Well, not only that, the opportunity to be on the water is limited.
Yeah, it's not limited. It's nowhere else.
That
Paulino, you did good.
That was amazing, man.
We gotta say. We'll say the
honestly, not for nothing.
The next pod.
This is probably my favorite podcast.
I told you.
I didn't even talk much.
Story time, brother.
Crazy, dog.
Thank you, Mo Garcia.
A real pleasure.
I gotta beat Panama. I gotta beat Panama.